Okay. It's that time of the day today. Wow, it's dusk in the desert.
Yeah.
That painting behind you went dark.
Yeah.
Amazing. But it's our time, and it's your time, and it's time for the Suzanne Somers Show. And here she is.
Hi, everyone. Hello, everybody. And I've got Caroline on the phone today. And today's a very special day. And I hope he's watching, because it's my son's birthday. And we all, as mothers, remember the day we brought them into this world. And if I did one thing right in my life, it was bringing him into the world. So I'd just like to sing him happy birthday. And I hope he's watching. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bruce. Happy birthday to you. I love you with all my heart. With all my heart.
Me too, Brucey.
And so does Alan.
Thanks, Mom. I love you. I love you, Al.
I love you. I'm so happy you're happy. That's the only thing that matters to me, is that you're happy, and you're so happy.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. Have a great... Bruce and Caroline are in Mexico, living it up, and just have a great time tonight. And I know you had a good time last night, and just eat a bunch of cake.
And the night before.
Yeah, and the night before. Just drink tequila and have cake. That's what birthdays are for. And then,
Okay.
you know...
We're already on it.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tip up to you. Here is Alan. Let's toast. And to all of you watching, happy birthday, Bruce.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's get down to business here.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way, then we can talk.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is really an interesting show today.
Aren't they all?
Because, well, this is really interesting because what we have are two separate kits.
Yes.
And the first kit, which is Hair, Skin, and Nails Renew Supplement, the full retail is $70. What's TB, Caroline?
That's the true Brazilian activating serum.
Got it. Okay. The True Brazilian Activating Serum.
Can't live without it.
The full retail is $35. The Bioactive Moisturizer, the full retail is $45. And the nail file, full retail, $3. So total of retail value of $152.97. Let's say $153. The sale is $99.99. 35% off.
Nice.
That is a great deal. So now, Caroline, there are no codes or anything, right?
That's a 4-piece kit today. And they also have a 7-piece kit. No code.
No code, okay.
Today.
Okay. And the second kit, which is broader, it's the Hair, Skin, and Nails Renew 7-piece kit. First, Hair, Skin, and Nail Supplement, full retail. I told you about all of that. The TB Activating Serum, pardon me, Bioactive Moisturizer, Nail File, TB Finishing Gloss, Comb, Repair and Restore Base Coat, full retail $29.99. The retail value for the whole package is $228.
And you get the nail file with both kits. You know, it seems dumb, but isn't it great to have a new nail file? Or I like to keep a nail file in every room in the house so that if I get a snag or something, I just go and
Me too.
do it. Yeah,
Me
and
too.
you're a nail file stealer.
I know. Okay.
You steal glasses
Let
and
me
nail files.
finish this. This
Oh,
is really
all right.
important
Well, I'll have
stuff,
my tequila
okay?
then. Okay.
This is the big kit, kit number 2. The retail value of the kit is $228. It's on sale for $129.99, which is 43% off.
Wow.
This is not going to happen again
Wow.
anytime soon.
Well,
Both good deals and great stuff.
all this stuff really works. My nails are so bad right now, and I'm taking it and making them stronger. And who can't use, you know, a little help with your skin? And then hair. Hair. If your hair, you know, is not all that you want it to be, try the Hair, Skin, and Nails. I take 4 every morning, and just get them down. It's worth it. There are a couple things I take 4 of. I take 4 Bone Renew to keep my bones strong. I take 4 of the hair, skin, and nails. And then blah, 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 blah. I go on and on and on. I take a lot of supplements, but I think it's serving me well, and it's serving you well, Alan.
Yep.
We had we went away this weekend, and we got a lot of compliments on us. And really what they don't realize they're saying is, you guys look great for being old. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We were saying that about you stating on yourself, but we weren't saying for being old. Lori was saying, I can't believe what hustle Suzanne and Alan still have.
Yep. Yeah.
It was not for being old. You guys have so much hustle, and it's commendable.
Nice. That's a good compliment. Hustle. Yeah. I always say,
Yeah.
you shouldn't ask someone, how old are you? I'll wait till he gets that out of the screen.
Okay.
Rather say, how young is your energy? Because it's all about energy. When you see an old person shuffling across the street, the name I was trying to think of the other day was Artie Johnson, the one who was walking like that. They're probably not as old as they look. It's just the posture. And down here in the desert, there are a lot of retirees. And by the time you get to this stage of your life, one of you has fallen. I never thought it would be me. I had that terrible accident, as you know. I work so hard on my posture at all times. In fact, I saw a picture of myself at this black tie I went to the other night, and I was sitting up so straight, but I'm conscious of it all the time because I see people walking bent over because they had a injury or something, and they didn't go to physical therapy to get themselves back upright. And muscles have memory, and excuse me, I can't drink any liquid, juice, water, anything. The first few sips, I always get hiccups. So sorry. Anyway, I'm not perfect.
Go ahead, hiccup.
I just had water out in the kitchen, and I hiccuped also, so I don't know what that's about. Anyway, you have to know that what you put into life is what you get out of it, and a posture is a big deal.
Well, you know, your physical therapist taught you something really important that I do myself. When you're talking about posture, okay? Standing stick straight.
Right.
Walk behind with your hands behind your back.
I do. I
know you
Stretching out.
I learned it from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just reminds you to stand up straight, and because there's nothing that looks worse and nothing more aging than bending over. And I worry so much about young people, this thing called tech neck. Tech neck is sitting in bed with your laptop in your lap, and you're leaning over and you're like this. Or we have a friend who's a trial attorney, so he's always sitting at his desk. Do you know he's permanently bent over? Because what happens when you bend over for long periods of time, be it tech neck, aging, falling, accident, or because your job requires you to lean over your desk, you get little hairline fractures in your chest bones. And after a while, they heal this way, and you cannot get them up. So you think it's your back that's giving you the trouble. It's really all these little teeny bones. Or you know when you turn really fast and go, like that, likelihood is you've just broken a little teeny hairline crack in a bone. Enough of those, and it manifests into something that you go, how'd this happen to me? So people are asking me, like, how do you like being 75? And I really like it because I'm chronologically old, but I'm not old, and I've got hustle and energy, and I enjoy it, and I have my great husband and family, and but you have to put some work into it at a certain point in your life. You can't just sail through. You got to exercise. You got to do yoga. I try to do 20 minutes on the glider every day. Then I get our triple T, and I work my hips, and then I do the kind of thing that exercises your hip, because my hip muscle here is tight, and I don't want to have a limp or anything. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, and it's just part of the deal. Otherwise, just let yourself get old. And I don't think any of you want that. You wouldn't be here if you wanted that. So I'm glad we're all on the same page with that.
Okay.
Yes.
So for people just joining us tonight, we're focusing on Hair, Skin, and Nails Restore, both a 4-piece kit and a 7-piece kit. And the 4-piece kit, the retail value is $153. It's on sale for $99.99, 35% off. And kit number 2, Hair, Skin, and Nail Renew 7-piece kit, retail value $228, sale $129.99. That's 43%
Nice.
off. Good deal.
I also want to wish, a happy birthday to my nephew Dan Gilmartin, who turned 50 yesterday. I think I'm his godmother, but I'm godmother to so many of my nephews that I claim them all as my godsons, and then they go, "No, you're his godmother, not me." So anyway, happy birthday, Dan.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was just going to say, we wanted to put this kit together because ultimately some of the nutrients in your body that start to decline can really affect how you care for your skin and your look. And I happen to believe that Suzanne has the best supplement on the market because not only biotin in it, but she also has collagen and keratin and silicone, which all help critical to health and growth of hair, skin, and nails. So we put that supplement in there as the anchor of both kits, but also great products, one for hair, one for skin, and one for nails. And these are some of Suzanne's favorites, and it is a huge discount. If you watch our shows, if we get up to 43% off, that is a very big discount. So I hope you guys can jump in on that today.
And with age, hair takes a hit. Hair takes a hit from a lot of things. Over processing, over flattening ironing, and using chemicals on your hair. That's why I think our shampoo, conditioner, and rescue mask is so good, because it will enhance your hair rather than putting harsh chemicals on it. I don't know when we all decided that harsh chemicals were so great for our hair, our skin, our nails. We address all of that. Hair, with the Hair, Skin, and Nails Renew. If you're looking for it online, it's Hair, Skin, and Nail Renew. Then also we've got the volumizing shampoo and volumizing conditioner and the rescue mask. And then today in this package we have the activating serum. That's the True Brazilian. Oh my gosh. You're going to write in about this, I know, because you all love it so much, and Alan will read your comments. But the Brazilian, you put a few pumps in your hand after you've washed and conditioned your hair and towel dried it, but not dryer dried it. And then you take it all the way through your hair and pull it out through the ends. It feels like you're not using enough, but you're using enough. And then you blow dry it, and it makes blow drying so easy and effortless and gorgeous, and you get shiny, silky hair. It's just a wonderful product. Then if you got a few flyaways, which I think I have today, then you put the gloss, the finishing gloss on. You just kind of tap it down, and you're done. And it's so beautiful. The Bioactive.
It's so funny, Suzanne, because there are some people on Facebook right now who, because of the way the light is hitting in the darkness behind you, you have one OCD fan, and she said that, not me, and she said that the flyaways are really.
All right.
There were big flyaways tonight because it's so the finishing gloss. If you put a little in there, you pushed it out like this. She's going to be happy.
You know, right before I came out, I pulled this shirt over my hair, and it messed my hair. Now is it gone?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's much smoother now.
Okay.
You want to see flowers?
We're going to have to move our shows earlier with this light now. This is crazy.
Is it blackout? Oh, wow.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow.
No, but it's really an hour later.
Yeah, so we need lights out there. Things we didn't know.
That's correct.
I would think there would be lights out there. Is that weird?
Maybe there aren't any lights out there.
Yeah.
Well,
this isn't our house
we'll
yet.
fix that.
Usually the pool is lit up. It's like somebody turned a switch off.
I just turned the pool light on.
Remember last night when we came home and there were no lights at the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was icky.
That was.
Well, anyway, sorry it's pitch black behind me. We'll fix that for the next show. The reason I'm saying this is not our house that we're going to move into is not finished yet. So we had to find an interim house, and we found this beautiful house to lease for 6 months. And so we're putting things away, but not all the way away. And Bruce had warned me. He said, commit to your house, because Bruce and Carol had moved into a interim house while they were waiting for their house to be finished many, many years ago. And Bruce said, we never really committed to it. We're living out of boxes. We're still living out of some boxes, but I took all my books out. When I take all my books out, I start feeling relaxed and rested. I have all these medical books that I read. And when you look at them, you think you never get through all this. I've actually read all of them, and I refer back to them over and over and over and over again. So anyway, what are the comments about, do you see any comments that would be fun to respond to?
Oh, they're always fun to respond.
I know.
Yeah, we've kind of segued into hair, skin, and nail renew. But if you guys have tried Suzanne's products, let us know how you like this. Oh, I do have someone who commented on your hair elixir, which is not in the show tonight, but she said, wow, that really works.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So Beth Nichols says, it just shows you're beautiful in the dark, too.
Beth,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. I agree.
It was so nice this weekend. We were at events, and so many of you came up to me, and we talked, and it was like we're old friends. They know so. You all know so much about us, where we live, our relationship, and the women really like you, Al.
They do?
They were saying things like, "How's Bad Boy Al?"
Who was saying that?
At the gala.
Oh.
Yeah. Women all dressed up in beautiful gowns.
Wow, but where were those girls in high school?
Oh, poor thing. Cry me a river. I bet it was really sad. I bet you never had a girlfriend.
Yes. No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh, no. Oh.
No, I spent my time trying. It never worked out.
Oh.
Ever.
You spent your time crying?
Michelle
And crying.
Michelle Kavanaugh said her nails look great from the supplement.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Moving plays havoc with your nails because you don't know where things are, and I keep hitting them and then chipping them. Then I got to nail them all down, file them all down. But anyway, I put on our almost toxic-free nail polish, and it sort of even works on short nails. I've always had real long nails. You know when you don't have something anymore that you used to have, like this weekend, I was looking at every woman's hands like, wow, those are pretty hands. Wow, those are beautiful. There were a lot of rings. There were a lot of big mother rings at this gala. Big honkers. And yeah.
I was going to say the other thing that is great if your nails are struggling a bit right now is that restore and repair.
That's right.
In front of you. I mean, if your nails are struggling, maybe you've got gel on and your nails, your nail beds aren't super healthy. Suzanne's repair and restore nail, her base coat has garlic in it and the lavender, which are both helpful to support the health of your nail bed.
So when you take Hair, Skin, and Nails Renew, and this, you saying this base coat has garlic in it?
Garlic?
Yes, garlic and lavender. That's the repairing.
So if your nails stink, it's probably the garlic.
That's right.
That's good for, and we know it's good. It's good for our guts to eat garlic. In fact, in our dinner tonight, I put a whole head of garlic in it. You're not hungry, are you?
Pardon?
You're not hungry, are you?
No, but I will be.
Yeah. He had to have a hot dog. He makes, the great hot dogs that Al makes. And we're on a business call that took most of the day, so we hadn't eaten all day. And he said, we were talking about his hot dogs, which are so good. I said, all right, but I've got, a pot roast on the stove. It's going to be really, really great. And I got this little teeny baby potatoes to put in there. So just only eat one and don't get full, but it was very filling. It was very good. Those are those hot dogs he makes that he flattens down so that the bun and everything is flat. It's like eating a panini. Wow, they're good. They're good. And I like the French mustard on it, but the other thing I have really discovered that I love for appetizers is the stone ground mustard with pancetta and a little piece of cheese and maybe a...
Well, you can have that, but for hot dogs. Yellow,
only yellow.
Organic yellow
only
mustard.
yellow. Oh, you're so right.
It would be sacrilegious to use poop on. And that's why they call it poop on.
Right. But what I'm talking about, the stone ground mustard, is not that. It's mustard. It hasn't been ground down and refined like your yellow mustard. It's really quite good, though.
Sort of mustard seeds.
Mustard seeds, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I was reading yesterday that all the nuts you've been eating all your life, it's probably a big reason why you're so healthy.
Really? I do love nuts. I don't let a day go by.
Whereas one of us might, when you're hungry, snack on something not as healthy. His snack of choice is nuts and fruit. Nuts and fruit. Ever since the day I met him, that's the two things he likes to eat most, nuts and fruit. One time, he got his sugar levels too high because he was eating so much fruit. And the doctor said, how much fruit do you eat? And Alan said, I don't know. I said, I do. There are days when he eats 50 pieces of fruit. 50. 0.
No.
Yeah, there have been days when peaches are in full bloom or apricots in full bloom, then you've got blueberries over here and you're throwing those down. I think there are worse habits. It's so good for you, and you are so healthy, and you've got a lot of hair. Maybe the secret to your hair are nuts and fruit.
That could be.
You want to come over and show them how cute you are?
Oh, okay. What an introduction.
While he's on his way, I'll let you know, Tammy Anderson-Mann said, I love hair, skin, and nail renew. It helps me from losing my hair from everyday stress.
I'm sorry you have the stress, but I'm glad you have this option. Whatever the reason is, your hair isn't all that you want it to be, and it could very well be that you're going into perimenopause or menopause. That's when hair really takes a hit. It's when your hormones are in decline.
I'm in perimenopause myself.
You are. You've been for a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
I know.
I never thought it was possible for men to be in menopause.
Men on pause.
Men on pause is what they call women. But for men, it's endo, what is it?
Endo what?
Endopause?
Andro.
Andro.
As in androgen.
Androgen.
Yeah, andropause.
You
went through it before you were on hormones?
Yeah.
He didn't get bitchy or itchy or he got sleepy. He got sweaty.
Yeah.
He got bloated. But you mainly you were sleepy. He was sleepy. When he was losing hormones, he'd take a nap in the morning. He'd take a nap in the afternoon.
And then a big nap.
And then after dinner, he'd fall asleep. And then I'd wake him up and he'd go to bed. And one day I said to him, you're like our old cat who sleeps 80% of the day.
That's true.
I said, you should go to my doctor, my endocrinologist. So he went, and his testosterone was so low and his DHEA was so low. It's so much easier for men. Yep. And she got him on both regimens, and voila, he's never looked back. Really, I know.
By the way, remember the old gentleman at the farmer's market?
With the dahlias.
The dahlias?
Yeah.
I'm not giving you medical advice. This comes from a 94-year-old man who grows and sells dahlias at the farmer's market in Malibu. Okay?
They're this big,
and
each one.
I look at people older than me, and I look for wisdom from them. So I said, give me some wisdom. He said, make sure that you eat a piece of watermelon every day if possible. It's great for your prostate.
Oh.
What's in watermelon?
And you have a great prostate. I don't know, but you have a great prostate.
And the other one
he eats a lot of watermelon.
Yeah, the one I heard from somebody else, I can't remember who it was. I think it was one of our doctors. He said that, it was Jonathan Wright. Yeah. Said eating 3 Brazil nuts every day.
For selenium.
Will be really good for your prostate.
Well, there's so much selenium in Brazil nuts, yeah. If you had 3 Brazilian nuts every day, you probably wouldn't even need to supplement it because they're loaded with selenium. So, because as we age, the worn out parts, we lose nutrients and minerals. The body doesn't work without minerals. We're coming up with something that you're going to be able to put a capful in a glass of water that will be the best way to support your mineral balance in your body. And I take it every day, and he takes it every day. It's really amazing. So I won't tell you till we have the actual everything in the warehouse, but I'm excited about this one. Anytime you don't have to take pills, and you can take it in liquid. I wish there was a way to do every single supplement in liquid, but it's not possible.
Well, there probably is.
Yeah.
I mean, I have tried to. Well, I won't bore you with what I tried to do.
Okay.
There was a machine.
For him to say, I won't bore you.
No, there was a machine that I was working on that could literally live in every store where they sell vitamins, and it was all liquid, with the exception of the fish oil and one other thing I can't remember.
What was? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was too complicated.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's all right. You know, I make my gut renew in the morning for the two of us, and I do a nice big glass. What are you doing?
Just fixing the blowaways.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, there's no more blowaways.
Oh, he likes to fix my hair.
I have to go back to my job now.
Weirdo.
Yeah, but I'm your weirdo.
My weirdo. Yeah.
Okay, so what's wisdom? Give me a little wisdom from you. You're 75 years old now, okay?
I got wisdom.
Pardon?
I got wisdom. I got wisdom. I also want to thank Kelly and Dwayne. Oh, wow. Kelly and Dwayne, you know who you are. They flew us this weekend in their beautiful plane, and we had the best time. You know, whenever you don't have to get on public transportation, and we are so fortunate that they invited us to come with them. I tried not to act too excited, but yes! It was pretty great. So if you're watching, Kelly, thank you so much.
So let's have a little wisdom from you.
From me?
Yeah.
Well, I started to say it earlier, that I think it's wrong when people say, how old are you? I think they should say, how young is your energy? Because there are a lot of people, a lot younger than me, who have old energy. And it's all about the spring in your step. One of the things I disliked the most about being down this year with my injuries was, you know, losing my gait, losing the spring in my step. And that's what I work on every single day now. I wear a little, my alignment got off a little bit, so I wear one little lift on my left shoe to balance me out. So that's a couple of bits of wisdom that's just come to me. But one of the things I love about being 75, and I've loved my whole 60s and 70s, is that the wisdom keeps pouring, and you have perspective, and you have a lot of aha moments. You know what they are? Ah, yeah, I know. And as people are going through things, as an older person, I think, I know, I've been there. If you can make it through. I remember when I first started in television, there was a very famous comedian who then had a #1 sitcom. His name was Freddie Prinze. Do you remember Freddie Prinze, Alan?
Yeah.
And
tragic ending.
He had the world at his fingertips. He had everything. And it was too much, too soon, too fast. And stardom is wonderful, but if you're not ready for it, it can really do you in. And I don't remember if he started using. I have a suspicion that he did.
I think he committed suicide. I think
he ended up committing suicide. And I remember giving an interview.
He was in his 20s.
Yeah, I remember giving an interview saying if he could have held on a little longer, to get a little older, to look upon what was happening to him as one of the greatest gifts that life can give you. Fame is an incredible gift if you use it well. Fame is awful if you don't use it well and you use it to throw your power around. That's awful. Those are those obnoxious famous people. I've always tried to use my fame really well. I do like getting good seats in restaurants. It happens most of the time, so don't begrudge me that. But I usually use my fame for the better good. I want to do good in the world. And with a louder voice, you can do good. So I hope you all have benefited from any of the things that I've done. You say such nice things to me, and when I'm out and I run into you, you say the nicest things to me. I love it. I just love it. So what's your wisdom, Alan?
God, I don't know. I'm kind of stupid about wisdom, you know. I'm a, what do they call those people?
No, you're very wise, Alan. Very wise.
Yeah, I find that the older I get, the more I keep my mouth shut.
You do?
I do.
And maybe that is wisdom.
And I
don't have to be the big I know everything guy.
Yeah, I mean, if I can add something to what's going on that is going to make life better for everybody, great. But if I can't, I just don't talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? I don't talk for the sake of talk. That's it. I don't talk for the sake of talking.
No, sometimes you do. Usually at the end of the evening, when I'm really, really, really tired, and we're just, when you're married a long time, you know this, you knee one another under the table, and he knows when I knee him, which means I got to go home and go to bed. And then he starts telling stories. And his stories are long. And it's not that they're not interesting. They are. Everybody else is loving it, but I know all his stories. And I'm sitting there going, uh-huh. Okay, all right. And then he goes, and then it'll trigger something else. And that's just something that started in the last year or two, Alan.
Huh.
Your storytelling on the way out. Even in waiting at the car, when the car door is open and we're saying goodbye to Mr. and Mrs. whoever, you start another story. I go, no more stories.
Okay, now if I change the way I behave.
No,
okay,
don't.
But if I change the way I behave.
love you just the way you are.
Based upon this observation.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then on the way home, you'll say, how come you didn't say anything tonight?
No, I never say that. Because you always talk.
No,
You're very engaging when we're out.
No, but sometimes I don't feel like talking.
When you don't talk, it's because I know you're not liking the evening or the people you're with.
Yeah, true.
But generally, we never do that. Everybody we go out with because, we like to be at home. But if you're fun to go out with, we do.
Yeah, that's true.
So
every so often.
Yeah, it's rare though.
Every so often.
We live a great social life. We have great friends.
Yeah.
And always meeting new people. Whenever I meet a great couple, I make sure I get their emails. So
Suzanne picks people up.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Well, people are afraid to pick me up. So when I like somebody, I go, we should get together sometime.
So, let's see, I've got something.
So what? Any questions? I love when you ask me questions.
Okay. So this is from Leslie Warner Elgin. Thank you for all the information you provide. I find the hormone discussions very interesting since I always thought hormones cause cancer, but I'm learning the truth about them through you. Thank you. Thank you. Isn't that nice?
Well, here's how I feel. This is how I feel about hormones. When we were young and we were making oodles of estrogen, we didn't get cancer. Today, younger women are getting cancer, but it's not from hormones, it's from the environment. And don't get me started on the environment and who thought it was a good idea to spray our food with poison. So we'll put that to the side. But when you're making oodles of estrogen and you're young, you just feel good all the time. You're happy, and then you make estrogen every day of the month, and then 15 days of the month you make progesterone. What's interesting about that, and I find nature so fascinating. You can't outthink nature. If estrogen's every day of the month, and it rides a wave, and by the 12th day, you make the most estrogen you're going to make all month. Now, why is that interesting? What's the 12th day? The 12th day is the full moon. So in paleo times, before there was electricity, women on their 12th day were their most fertile, horniest, and they could make love by the light of the moon. And that's perpetuation of the species. On the 13th day of the month, that estrogen from the full moon drops way down, but in comes progesterone. So if your estrogen just dropped way down, you'd be in the worst mood ever, but progesterone is your feel-good hormone, and it comes in on the 13th day and gets into the receptor sites of the cells and allows the progesterone to take over in a cycle for the next 15 days. And then at the end of that, you either have made a baby or you have, it's called, you get a period. I was trying to find a nice way to say it. You get your period, and then it all sloughs off, and then you start all over again. It's kind of wonderful. The way I take my hormones, and I've written about it in so many of my books, I take estrogen every day of the month, and on the 13th day, I take progesterone for 2 weeks, and because I'm never going to have my period again. Big reveal. That could be headline. and I'm not going to have a baby. And so many women, and it makes sense to ask the question, said, but will I get pregnant? No, you don't have any eggs left. The only way you get pregnant is when you're young enough, you still have plenty of eggs. Menopause is egglessness. Let's just call it that. You are no longer making eggs. And so that's why menopause and post-menopause could be the best time of your life, because you can't get pregnant anymore. You are sexual because you're taking the hormones, and you get to have quality of life in a way that you've never experienced it before. So many women this weekend, when I was out and about, were talking to me about their hormones, and a lot of them, the way they were telling me they were taking them, I wanted to go, oh, that's so wrong. But it was not in the arena where I could say, no, we need to sit down and talk for 2 hours, because I didn't have 2 hours. But one woman said to me, I take bioidentical hormones. I get them at the drugstore. And I'm thinking, you do? I don't think you do. What are those? Because you got to get them by prescription. And I just never know how much to take, this woman said to me. And I thought, oh. I said, why don't you go read my book, I'm Too Young for This, which is my most comprehensive book on hormones, even though it was my worst selling, because the women at, was it Crown that did that book, or was it was Crown? They were all entering perimenopause, and they kept saying, your next book should be on perimenopause. And I said, well, it's all kind of the same thing. But I did it, and I wanted to call it one name, which I'm going to do it again because it was such a great name. And they said, oh, no, that insults me. I really, and we compromised on the title. I never compromise on my titles. Knockout, Breakthrough, The Sexy Years, all those great titles I have. I know titles, but I listened to the crowd this time, and it sold really well, but not like all my other books. And it's too bad, because it's the most comprehensive book on hormones. So if you don't quite understand the whole deal on hormones, get my book, I'm Too Young for This. You can go to my website. I'm sure I have it there. And that will explain everything, including what's going on with your husband. Okay? And men really want this. They just don't have a clue who to go to, who to ask. They all ask Alan. And then I fill Alan's ear and pass it on that way. We're living in an extraordinary time. We're living longer than we've ever lived in our lives, ever. Living well into your 90s is no longer strange. You know, Betty White just turned 100. Angela Lansbury is 96. It's just like getting to be commonplace. But what's the point of living longer, life extension, if you don't have quality of life? What I write about is quality of life. You get to have the life extension, which gives you maybe 20, 30 more years. It's nice. Get to see children and grandchildren grow up. And you'll have energy and juice because you're not all decrepit and frail, because you've been replacing your hormones. You've been doing lab work to replace missing nutrients and missing minerals. You take care of those three things, you're going to really enjoy your quality of life. That's all that, what I just said, is in my book. Can you grab one of my books over there, Alan? Sure. It's called A New Way to Age. I finish books and I go, that's real good. This is my most recent book, A New Way to Age. I'm thinking this is one of my best books. It's so loaded with information. And the doctors I interviewed in this book were so forthcoming. And I'm now at a stage with doctors where they're calling me. I'm getting calls from doctors in Europe and around the world who are auditioning. And I'm going, you don't have to, I'm already aware of who you are. I'm so honored that you'd like to be in my books. So I'm just starting a new book, and I don't have a title yet. And I don't even have a clear idea of what I'm writing, but that's okay. That's how this one started too. But it's always exciting when the juices get going. I had to wait. I usually, the moment I finish a book, I start on the next one. I had to wait this time because I was repairing and healing my broken body, which that'll be part of the new book, because you never think it's going to happen to you, do you? I never anticipated having an accident and falling and breaking the whole right side of me, and neck and spine and hip and jaw. It's been an ordeal, but you know what? I've won. I'm back. I walk. The last thing was the teeth. I cracked the jaw, which cracked the teeth. Not only on this side, shoved all my teeth to that side and cracked the ones up there. And so my jaw pain is going away. And along this whole journey, I've taken all my supplements, all my hormones, my minerals, my nutrients. I lost so much weight initially. I don't know if you remember when I had the dog collar on, I weighed a little over 100 pounds. I weigh 128 now, which is a real good weight for me. Maybe a couple of pounds over, and that kind of makes me feel good. But I ate along the way. I forced myself to have protein 3 times a day, because protein was how I was able to get my bone and muscle built up again. And I found some supplements that really are good for muscle memory and things like that. So I'm working with Caroline about bringing those to you. So no negative slips by me without my turning it into a positive. In fact, one of the nicest things said to me this weekend, this woman Kelly, who took us on her plane, she said, "You're the most positive person." And I thought, oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I try to never go, oh, it's awful. When I talk about my injury, I say, I am so lucky I'm not paralyzed. I am so lucky I'm not paralyzed. The idea of that just gives me the horrors. What an awful way to live. And then whenever I'd have a day, maybe a day when I'd have a moment, and I mean a moment, I didn't have, Alan's been with me the whole time. Why did this happen to me? Then I would inevitably see one of those commercials for Wounded Warrior. That guy, Frank Siller, is an angel on earth. He's doing more good than anybody I know. I send him as much money as I can afford to build homes for people who are wounded, police, firemen, soldiers, to pay their mortgages if they die, or build them a smart house so if they're paralyzed or quadriplegic or don't have arms or legs, so that stoves come down and cabinets come down, making their life not only tolerable but enjoyable. And I don't know if any of you are aware of Frank Siller, but you say a little prayer for Frank Siller every day. He's doing so much good. What are you doing now?
Pardon me?
What are you doing?
I was just reading something that I thought I might read aloud, but I decided not to.
Oh, so what are the ladies saying?
Well,
I guess we just lost Caroline. Let me see. Yeah.
Any suggestions on being 10 pounds overweight and your doctor says your hormones aren't perfectly balanced, but you can't get the weight off?
Yes. Oh, thank you for asking. Any of you got unexplained weight gain? You're really watching what you're eating and you're still gaining weight? You're gaining weight while you're sleeping. I'll tell you why. When your minor hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, are declining, are not at the right balance, they raise up your major hormones, which are insulin, that's the one you want to think about, thyroid, adrenal, cortisol. When these are high, life becomes very unpleasant. When your insulin's high because your minor hormones are low, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, you can't get your insulin down. You can't get your adrenals to calm down. You can't get your thyroid to work properly, and you can't get cortisol. Chronic high cortisol leads eventually to heart attack or stroke. And so you want to really work on your insulin, but the way you work on your insulin is to get your minor hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, pregnenolone, got to go to a qualified doctor, get them in the perfect balance. Once you get them in the perfect balance, all the others balance up. And I write about this in I'm Too Young for This. I write about this in A New Way to Age. Get those 2 books so you can totally understand it. You can be in control of your weight. You don't have to be overweight. And it's a crazy notion to think that you're gaining weight while you're sleeping. But then again, you're not sleeping very well, are you? Because your cortisol is so high. When your cortisol is high, why do we have cortisol? Cortisol is our stress hormone, but it was meant for in paleo times, because that's what we really need to look at relative to who we are today. What were our ancestors way back experiencing? They got shots of adrenaline when they're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. But, well, we don't have saber-toothed tigers here, but a near miss in the car, or sometimes we got animals coming on the property. Or Caroline ran into a bear the other day. That'll shoot your cortisol up. But when your minor hormones are low, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, your cortisol goes high, and your adrenals go high. That's why you got that racing heart. That's why you can't lose weight. That's why you either have low thyroid or high thyroid. I don't know which is worse. Low is just terrible. You get depressed. You feel out of it, out of life rather than of life. That's hyper. Hypo. Hypo is low. Hyper is high. Remember that. You don't want either. You want to be right in the middle. Alan and I take thyroid supplementation every single day according to our lab work. And you have to go to a good doctor. Look in the back of one of my books. Don't go to a regular doctor. They don't know. I love them, and God bless them, and they went to all those years of school, but they don't know about hormones. I'll tell you how much they don't know. I have been invited to speak to the World Congress of Alternative Doctors next month to teach 6,000 doctors what I know about hormones, and they give me such respect because they didn't learn it, and I can give them a crash course because they got enough knowledge to get it. And when I give them a crash course, they like go, oh, whoa, that really works. And they're all happy that you're all reading my books before you come in to see them, because they go, you know, when a woman comes in who says, I've read Suzanne Somers' books, I'm thrilled because then I don't have to start at kindergarten. You know what I mean? The doctor doesn't have time in his office visit to do what I'm doing with you right now.
But some of those doctors,
yeah,
you're speaking of alternative and integrated doctors, have bought gazillions of your books,
yeah, they have,
to give to their patients.
So flattering.
So they say to the patient, here, take this home and read it, and then come in after you finish reading it.
Well, I have that in mind when I write these books. I'm not a doctor. I never give advice. If you listen to everything I said tonight, I don't give you advice. If it were me, here's what I would do. If I had all the symptoms of low or high thyroid, this is what I would do. And I walk you through it in the book. And my books are vetted. I've never been challenged on any of my books. So I am using my life and my fame and my age for the better good. And I want what I know to be passed on to you, passed on to your daughters. There is a new way to age, and it's a beautiful thing. Any more questions, Al?
Yes. Let's see. Someone said, read this, please, but there's nothing there. Okay.
Oh, by the way, don't forget in the... Okay, let me just go through what we're selling tonight.
Okay. All right.
I have to make a little money.
Okay.
This is all good for you. All right. So let's do the least expensive one first.
Okay. This is the hair, skin, and nails. This is the 4-piece set. You get all this, everything. The retail is $153. You get it for under $100, 35% off.
Okay, let me show them what that is.
Okay.
That's how many? 120 tablets here, okay, of the hair, skin, and nails.
Okay.
And then we've got the activating serum, which you're going to love.
Every day.
And then we've got the Bioactive Moisturizer. Bioactive has CoQ10 in it. Your skin is all made up of cells. In the center of every cell in your body is the mitochondria. The only way it works if it is triggered by CoQ10, and that's in this, okay? And then you get a nail file. I know it sounds like no big deal, but honestly, when you get a new nail file, you're so happy. All right, now, in the more expensive version, which is what? Show them that.
There it is. You get all this stuff. Plus, in addition to that, you get the comb, which is the full retail is $10.
You'll love this comb.
The Repair and Restore base coat, the full retail is $30. The retail value of the entire kit, which includes the supplement, the activating serum, the bioactive moisturizer, the nail file, etc., is $228. You get it for $130. It's 43% off.
Okay, so that's the hair, skin, and nails, the comb, the activating serum, the finishing gloss, the bioactive moisturizer, and the Is it called the top coat? Base coat. Base coat. Yikes. I knocked things over. Base coat, and then a file. So, I don't know, for me, I'd get this one, but whatever you can handle today. It's all great stuff. I'm so proud of our... You don't throw that up there at me. Thanks, Al.
I'm just trying to get your attention.
Yeah, you do, always. So these are all great things. We bundle together what you may not have remembered that I have. And who doesn't want to have great hair, skin, nails? The Bioactive Moisturizer, which I haven't talked about too much, is one of the greatest moisturizers I've ever used. I put liquid oxygen on, which you can get on my site, and then I put the Bioactive on. I go through different phases of what I'm using. I have been using the resurfacing set, the serum, and then the resurfacing cream, and then the serum. That's pretty great. We make the greatest stuff, and it's all good for you stuff. I love that what we're all using is not contaminating the earth and our water, and we use clean products. Think of all the chemicals that go down the drain. Where do you think it all goes? It ends up somewhere, and it's not good, and it's affecting all of us. That's why there's no magic bullet against cancer. You just do the best you can with living as chemical-free a life as possible, and that's what we bring to you here at Suzanne Organics. We're a small business. We're a small family business. Really proud of our business. Really proud of our products, and I love how you all have responded to it. Any more questions before we sign off?
Here's a question. I doubt if you have the answer.
Uh-huh.
Because you see online, you see all kinds of people saying you do this for that. So obviously, no one seems to have the answer. But we know a couple of really famous singers who suffer from tinnitus. Okay? That auditory thing that affects your hearing. How do you get rid of tinnitus?
Well, I don't know if this gets rid of it, but what really, really helps is zinc.
Oh, yeah?
Take a lot of zinc. And the two people who we know you were talking about, who I told them about it, have markedly improved.
Oh, that's good to know.
Try that. And we have zinc on our website, so there's zinc picolate. So enjoy. Any more?
There are more, but we've reached the end here.
Okay. All right. Well,
it's time to grab your ear and sing.
It's so time. It's what's that song? It's
so long.
No, that's so long for a while. Together, just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Okay.
I totally stole that from Carol Burnett.
Okay. So Daisy Duke.
Yeah. Oh.
Daisy Duke says, I only wish I could still get your nail products in Canada. Oh. These are great products, so many good products. You can.
Can they?
Yeah. Costs a little more to ship, but the price is the same, and it's worth it because we discount pretty much everything we sell. There's no middleman, okay? But just to be sort of woke today, I'll say there's no middle person, okay? That's why we can.
Oh, please don't get politically correct on me. Don't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Anyway, I want to say goodnight to all of you. And you know, it's not who you are. It's not what you do. It's not what you have. It's only about who you love and who loves you. And I love you. Thank you so much for coming. I will see you on Wednesday. Good night, everybody.